I've fully written on every single one of these journals. If you want proof, you can go check out the YouTube link in the description. Today's topic is going to be all about the benefits of journaling and owning a journal. Starting it off with number one, which is reminders. Broken down into two different categories. One is for forgetfulness and the other is for memorization. Let's talk about memorization first, right? I'm someone who likes to have quotes, who likes to have certain messages ingrained inside of my head. Like, for example, the message of if you're going through hell, keep going. Pain is a necessary thing. Pain is a prerequisite for success. Those messages, I want them to be ingrained into my head. And I don't really like the idea of having to do standard repetition of if you're going through hell, keep going. If you're going through hell, keep going. If you're going through hell, keep going. And I found it, the use that I would intend for it is not really going to be applicable if I did it that way. Because why I want it to be memorized is when we are faced with pain, when we are faced with hard work that we're supposed to do, and we're going through the shit, we're going through the suck, we're going through the fucking bitchery that is in front of us, and it hurts, it sucks balls, and when we do it, we don't think logically. What I want to be memorized is when those moments arise, I can pull the messages out, I can pull the fucking quotes out so that I can use it to be of help to me during those circumstances. So what I would do is whenever the thought would arise that I wanted to write down the quote, if you're going through hell, keep going. Whenever those thoughts would appear inside of my head, I would immediately pop out my fucking notebook and I would write it down. And this is especially the case whenever I would be faced with what's called a lesser pain, a lesser discomfort, a lesser hard work. What I'm basically doing is I'm trying to build up the habit of when I am faced with pain, when I am faced with discomfort, when I am faced with hard work, then I would immediately pick this thought. And when I would start it off with memorization through writing it down on my journal, what would happen is I would use a lot of my senses and I would use my brain. So I would let me fucking break this down better, right? I would fucking write, which uses the sense of touch. I would fucking see what I was writing on, which uses the sensory of my eyes. I would fucking think about the message, which would in turn fucking ingrain it into my head further. And throughout this process, memorization ensues. And when you put it through circumstances of just a tiny bit of discomfort, tiny bits of discomfort, not as much discomfort as when you're pushing yourself hard on the gym or you're doing your fucking work session for the day, but just a lesser form of discomfort. Whenever that happens, I would write it down and it would create the habit that whenever I feel that discomfort, I would pull the messages out of my brain. So that's for memorization. Now let's talk about reminders. I'm someone who often forgets a lot of unnecessary shit. For example, fucking keys. Where I put my things, where I fucking put my money, where I put my fucking packages that I would receive when someone would owe me money. I would forget all of that fucking what I deem unnecessary information because I would rather think productive thoughts. I would rather think thoughts of ideas, thoughts of making a really good YouTube video. Oh, this is a really good YouTube video topic. Let's talk about that. I'd rather have my brain be 24/7, be used for good, productive shit. And I deem those shits unnecessary. I deem the thought of my fucking keys, my fucking packages as unnecessary. But when I do need it, I don't know where the fuck it is. I don't know where the fuck I need to get it. So what I would do is I would pop up my fucking journal because I've set up the standard of having my journal with me 24/7. I have my journal with me more than I do my phone. My phone practically doesn't fucking exist. Let's talk about that, right? One of the reasons why I'm not using my phone for these reminders is because I am a pretty addictive guy. I'm easily tempted, and because of that, even having my phone in the vicinity can have these tempting thoughts arise. These tempting thoughts would ensue. And I really don't like that. I really don't like feeling like I need to be more disciplined just because I have my phone in the premises. So I'd rather just have a fucking notebook on me with a pen 24/7 than having to deal with that extra level of discipline that would honestly otherwise have been unnecessary if I just didn't have my phone. So I would use reminders with forgetfulness and I would just write it down on my journal without any use of the phone because it's fucking addictive and it's just like something that I really don't want to deal with. The next one that we're going to talk about is with your tasks. So I would write down my tasks at the end of the day on my journal. I would write it down at a hard day's work when I am lying down on my bed. I would write down the task that I would need to do for tomorrow. And what this does is because I have it in my person 24/7, I know exactly what I need to do. I know exactly what needs to be done. And pair that with having a schedule hour by hour on what you need to do. I basically have my entire day blocked out and no time is wasted, as well as no time is regurgitated into stupid fucking bullshit. So when I would write down these tasks, obviously still hyper addictive person, right? I don't like using my phone. So I use my fucking notebook. I use having a journal and I write it down. And when I have it with me 24/7, I'm reminded that, oh yeah, I still have a task to do. Oh yeah, I still have a task that I need to do. Let me check. Oh, I need to meditate for 10 minutes. Oh, I need to shoot this video. Oh, I need to edit that video. It would help me with reminders. It would help me not deal with the fucking addictive shit they have to face with a fucking phone. And it would also help me with time blocks where it's always productivity and not any room for bullshit indulgences and instant gratifications. Number 2 is problem awareness and problem solving. So let's first talk about problem awareness. As I would go about my day, I would go about the things that I need to do. I would be faced with problems. One of them, it used to be porn. When I would be faced with that porn problem, right? A bad habit with fucking porn. What problem awareness is all about is when that problem would occur, when I would indulge in that instant gratification, when I would wipe my dick off, basically, I would be there in the midst of the shit and the suck. And once I would feel like, fucking hell, why did I just do that? I would fucking pop out my journal and I would try to observe the situation. I would try to observe what happened. Why did I jerk off? Why did I jerk off right there? And I would just try to figure it out. Okay, why did this happen? What thoughts made me think it was okay to jerk off? Maybe it was the environment. Maybe it was because I had a device right here. Maybe it was because when I was fucking resting, I had my phone right there. Oh, maybe it was because of this. Maybe it was because of that. I would just write down all of these possibilities. And in the midst of that fucking problem, in the midst of it having occurred, it's still fresh in my mind. It's still fresh in my mind what had happened. And this is especially the case if you have the habit of meditation because you're more aware. So, problem awareness. Problem awareness in the sense that you write down in the midst of the shit, in the midst of it having occurred. You write down why it happened, where it happened, what thoughts made it happen, or just like in general, why did this happen? Why is like, what's the problem? What's happening right now? And you write it down so you can be more aware of what is going on, because the first step to solving a problem is to be aware that you have a problem in the first place. So just having it in your person and being like observant of what's happening in your surroundings, doing your work, doing the things that you're supposed to do, and when deviations occur, okay, I fucking scrolled for an hour here, why the fuck did that happen? And you write it down. You write down the reasons why you think it happened. And then you go through what's called problem solving. So in the fucking self-improvement space, we have what's called deep journaling. Now, deep journaling is a form of journaling where you fucking block yourself off from the outside world and you sit down somewhere and you basically spend that block of time thinking. You spend that block of time thinking and trying to address the problem that is happening. So what I would do is, for example, the fucking porn problem, right? One of the problems that I faced, as I noticed when I was dealing with that porn fucking habit that I used to have, was that, oh, I'm actually thinking of porn. Oh, I'm actually thinking of a bitch getting railed inside of my head. Oh shit, that's a problem. So I wrote it down and then I went on to like a fucking deep journaling session. Why was that happening and how do I solve it? Number one, holy fuck, I am a very good imaginative person. Like, I can imagine a chick bouncing her tits up and down in like 4K. My head is like a 4K digital fucking camera. So I understood that that was the case for me and I could not fucking like change that. So how do I solve the problem? Oh, that's easy. Okay, let me like fucking write this down. Like, to solve this problem, I just need to focus myself into reality, because this is only happening because I'm like way too stuck inside of my head. Like, I'm only imagining and daydreaming these sheets because I'm too stuck inside of my mind. So why not breathe in and out? I focus myself on the sensory fucking nerves inside of my eyes, and I just focus myself on what is in front of me. I just like, whenever these thoughts would occur, I would just focus myself on what is in front of me. And then boom, problem solved. I no longer think of thought temptations. I no longer think of bitches getting fucked inside of my head, because I entered this deep journaling session. I blocked myself off in the world. It's literally silent here, and when I would do that, I would just like think of possibilities, think of different ways to solve this problem. And when I would find those different ways, I would choose the best one and I would trial and test to see if it would work or not. This is like one of the best ways to like problem solve, because I think that most men who are on self-improvement, who like fucking go on with their self-improvement journey, are honestly like self-improvement babies, because they don't know how to solve their own problems and they would rather like fucking find a video on it. And I'll maybe like make a full video on that in the future. So if you want that, like maybe comment down below. So once again, problem awareness and problem solving through deep journaling. Number 3 is gratitude. Now, gratitude journaling is something that I do whenever I would wake up in the morning. Let's first explain like what gratitude journaling is, right? Gratitude journaling is basically finding something that you are grateful for, like genuinely grateful for in your life and in your day. So what I would do is I would gratitude journal from the moment I woke up. Let me like give an example of like what gratitude journaling would look like, right? I am grateful to have opened my eyes. I'm grateful that I have a healthy body. Not many men have what I have. There are men out there in the world that don't have what I have. I am grateful that I am healthy and I have been given all of these blessings by God. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. I am grateful. Like, I would literally just write that down from the moment I woke up. And I would just like do this in like the most simplest way possible, where I would write down 3 things that I'm grateful for from the moment I woke up. Why I would do this from the moment I wake up is because my brain is a fucking negative motherfucker. Like it would think negative thoughts like of motherfucker. It wouldn't like help me like fucking think right, fucking think straight. It would just like be a bitch all the time. It would think so many negative thoughts. It's fucking bullying me basically. And I hate that. And one of the ways that I have found to help me combat that is gratitude journaling. And it's literally fucking simple. Like I literally only do 3 things. Like I only really like write 3 things that I'm grateful for from the moment I woke up. And what this does is it basically makes it so that when I wake up, I immediately think of positive thoughts. Like I immediately think of positivity. And I think that's fucking beautiful. So let's imagine I've just woken up, I fucking get my journal, I fucking write down like what am I grateful for today? Well, I'm grateful to have woken up. Not many men can be certain that they can be awake the next day. They can like live to see tomorrow. Not many men have that. I'm grateful that the sun is in my eyes. The sun is beautiful. Thank you, Lord, for your creation. Thank you, Lord, for the sun that is in my eyes. Thank you, Lord, for the heat that it provides. It rhymes, so it works. So we also have like a fucking another like thing that I'm grateful for. You get the gist, right? You gratitude journal from the moment you wake up. The last point that we're going to talk about is brain dumping. I'm an overthinker. A chronic overthinker. And because of that, I have a lot of anxiety. I have a lot of like shit in my life that I'm honestly scared to face. And sometimes I just want to have like an outlet, right? So what I would do is I would just get a journal and I would write down my fears. Like even then I still do this, where I'm scared that maybe I'm not going to get my YouTube success. Like remember, if you're like a fucking long time follower, I basically dropped out and I'm trying to get my YouTube success. And because of that, I would have these thoughts like, what if it doesn't work? Like obviously, like as men on self-improvement, as men who are like striving to become stronger, we don't think those thoughts. Like it's not supposed to be thought. We're just like we are supposed to like be strong and like really like, just like fucking hammer away at ourselves, right? But I think that I'm the kind of person that really just needs to like let the trauma out, like let every fucking negativity out somewhere. And it genuinely helps me. So if this would help you, then go fucking ahead. If you don't need it, then you don't really need to do it. But whenever I would just like have these like really negative thoughts, like sometimes I feel like I'm alone. Like I'm so fucking alone. Whenever I would look around, no one gets me. No one understands what I do. No one understands why I do what I do. Why I work so hard. Not even my own fucking family. They think I'm crazy. They think I'm somehow. They think what I'm doing is stupid, and it hurts. I just write it down. Write it down. I'm basically like fucking trauma dumping inside of my fucking notebook, and I would just write it down. Write it down, and that's one of the ways that I would process these pains. That's one of the ways I would process these anxieties that I have for myself. In the future, I'd probably go ahead and make a full video on how to like process trauma and anxiety as well. But yeah, I do brain dumping because there's so much negativity in my life that I feel the need to like let it all out. If you found this video helpful, leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment down below so that more people get recommended this type of content. And if I've helped you for like a pretty decent amount of time and you think that my free content is like good shit, then you might want to check out the top link in the description. It's a consistency community and I have a course on there that I'm currently working on. It's in the midst of being worked on because I really want to just like be as good as possible. So if you join there, I'll basically like do like one-on-one fucking coaching and like I'll do one-on-one like teaching, just so like I can give you like as much value as that course would offer, and we'll address like what do you need to work on, what are your problems right now. If you don't have a goal, like let's set you up with one. And yeah, that's about it. Keep moving forward, no matter how hopeless it seems. Bye bye.